Welcome. It's art, it's music, it's life, it's fashion, it's listening, it's learning, it's listening for the subtleties in life, it's sharing. It's determining and discerning fact from fiction, from illusion, from fantasy. It's art inspired by life. It's life inspired by art. We're living at a time like no other on planet Earth. Spiritual, physical, metaphysical, insights, wisdom, challenges. We're more connected by technology and less connected to each other. We're all seeking answers, and we're often too busy to listen for the truth. Her story and his story and our story. I research, I question, I look for answers to share with you, exploring higher visions. Authors and publishers and creatives, all bringing us their empowerment tools, their insights. And I'm mining for those gems of wisdom. In these podcasts, we'll delve into the tears of sorrow, joy, awe, anger and overwhelm, the challenges, the triumphs of life. What works for some people and might work for you. We share the fiery energy of transformation, healing, inspiration, and lots of revelations. I am Catherine Whelan Costen, an author, an artist, a storyteller, a podcast producer and host. I'm a fellow human sharing this journey of life with you on the planet at this time. Let's chat. Let's explore. Hey, welcome back. It's Catherine. Let's chat. Got some things on my mind. So, announcing Permission to Breathe, the third edition in the small print, is now finally available on the website, cwcartandsoul.com. It is a memoir, and it is all about, this is the large print. I haven't got the smaller print yet in the mail. It's coming. And but if you order it, it will go directly to you. You can get this one, the larger print. You can get the ebook, which doesn't require shipping. It's a PDF. You can download it right away. And I really wanted to share some insights that came to me through writing the book, through that I'm sharing in the book. But first, I want to show you one of my latest paintings. It's not on the website yet, and it does not have a name yet. Painted with some iridescent paint, so it has a bit of a interesting shimmer. When the light hits it in a different way, you get a different effect. So it's kind of different. It's 10 by 20, and it will be on the website soon, but and it will have a sealant on it, and when it does, that will make the colors pop even more. So painting like crazy, and I do have some new products in my fashion store, the Galeriste, and I will put the link in the description box below. And if any other time, you can get it from just going to the website, and it has the link there as well. And of course, there's more paintings on the website. And on the fashions, the new line is got some active wear. So some jackets, some little cropped shirts, leggings, and headbands and things like that. Of course, there's still lots of dresses, tops, and fancy pants, palazzos, and some tapestries for the wall, placemats, home decor stuff, pillows and such. So lots of fun things happening. And I know this, not everybody feels like they're having a lot of fun these days. And that's the reason I want to talk about the book and the insights that I gained, and that the feedback that I've been getting, a lot of people are able to, in reading my story, get some insight into their story. And this is really important because that is the point of sharing stories, is to give people a little, like that's what happened to me. Other people's information, healing modalities and everything were triggers that got me thinking, got me looking, got me exploring. And I am an explorer, as you all know if you've been watching these shows for a while. I love to question why. And there are so many questions about why. But I feel strongly that intergenerational trauma is not unique to me, because I think that's one of the reasons we're on the planet as we are now, so many of us, and with so much coming to the surface of past wounds, things that have happened to groups of people, families that were never healed. And when we don't heal that stuff, we do repeat it, not because we want to, but because it's all we know. And to know something different, to know that life can mean thriving, it can mean abundance, prosperity. It's not just these affirmations that we all hear, the law of attraction and so forth. It's the truth. It's like the law of gravity. It's a truth, right? It's just that you can say, well, you can work with gravity or you can work against it. You know, you can go with the flow or you can go against it. And I like to think of, when there's a saying, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And I like to say, life happens, period. You have nothing to do with it. Life is going to happen whether you're here or not. But you are here. So your job is to respond to life rather than react. And when you've had intergenerational trauma, you learn to react, not respond to life. And reacting, yes, you know, I used to pride myself on being very quick on my feet, quick to react, because I had all the tools. And you know, it takes a lot of energy to carry around that toolbox all the time. What to do when the phone rings and you got to run. What to do to be prepared. You never sleep. You're always have your ear open, waiting for that next dramatic, traumatic experience, because you got to be ready. You got to be prepared. Adrenaline rushing all the time. And that's what I find is happening today in our world with media hype. It's keeping people in reaction mode. It's like, what's the next thing going to be? Am I going to be ready? Be prepared, be prepared, be prepared. And it's like life prepares you. Everything that happened to me before today prepared me for today. And that's why I shared my story, was because I could see when I started looking at what had happened in my life, the cycles and the experiences and how I was reacting or responding and what the outcome was. And I think it's important to look at your own story and to decide, are you going to be, a victim of life, or are you going to be a thriver? And yes, things happen. Sometimes things do happen to you. Sometimes things, somebody does something that seems to be out of the blue, and you can feel like a victim. I have felt like a victim many times, but I am not a victim. I've been victimized, but I'm not a victim. I don't claim that. I don't want that. I'm a thriver. I adapt and I learn to respond. It took a lot of practice. That's why I shared, so that, because it's not about a tell-all. I had no desire to seek revenge by telling what happened or out anybody or anything like that. That's not what it's about. It's about looking at a story, anyone's story, and being able to say, my grandparents lived like that, believed those things, passed them down generation after generation, and we adopted those things. And I remember doing that even when my kids were little. I'd say, oh, you remind me of Uncle so-and-so, or, and I realized they're not that person. Yes, We share genetics, and we might have an expression that seems and reminds you of the other person, but they're not that person. So it's really important to let people be their unique self. And that's the other part, the insight that came to me through writing it, was about ownership. And as much as it's illegal, right? Slavery is illegal. We abolished it, but we still have it. It's just got different forms. We have ownership. We collectively think of ourselves as owning people. We own our children. We own our parents. We own our religious groups. And why do I say that? Because we very quickly say, when they don't behave the way we want them to, we'll disown them, as if that's a bad thing. And people don't want to be disowned. People will say that. My family disowned me because I married this person. My family disowned me because I took this career instead of that one. Disowning is a good thing. For me, I do not want to be owned. That is true freedom. When people are in my life because they want to be, because they bring something to my life and they are receiving something from me that doesn't involve ownership at all, doesn't involve their approval of me or permission. And that's why I call it permission to breathe, because that's how I felt my entire life, was that I was always looking for permission from somebody, and I didn't even know who it was, to be alive, to be myself. And I didn't know who myself was. So I had to take that journey. And through my illness, I was able to heal. It was the thing that happened in my life that gave me the catalyst, because I wanted to live. I did not want to just barely survive, but I had to look. I had to look underneath the carpet, so to speak. And I think collectively, we all have to look right now. We have to look at our families, our own lives, and our society, and what's under the carpet. It's coming up, and we are seeing it, but it's being shown to us through the eyes of hype and fear. Oh, look what's under the carpet. That's so terrible. I wonder how much worse it is. And keep digging in there instead of just clean it up. We've been on this planet a long time, and we've done a lot of things, humans, to this planet. You know, we've done some really good things, and we've done some really horrific things to each other and to the planet. And we all know this. And so it's not a matter of saying, well, I'm wearing a white bodysuit right now, so I didn't do the things that the other white bodysuits did. And I didn't. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who did what to who. It's a matter of, do we want to go forward like that? Or do we want to keep seeking revenge? Or, you know, like that's the thing. And it's like an eye for an eye. In the end, the whole world's blind. And that's the truth. We can't continue the way we've been doing it and expect different results. We know, you know, there's people who actually know we're not going to get different results. And that's why they want us to keep doing it the way we've been doing it. Because war is profitable, big bucks. I mean, the more we can fight each other and think we need to buy arms, we need to buy products to make us acceptable to the world, the more we can think we're not good enough. All of this trauma that has happened generation after generation has created a lot of people who really feel inferior to somebody. They just feel like they're not enough. You can affirm all you want, I am enough, and not believe it. You've got to come to that place of understanding that these programs were done on purpose. This patriarchal dominance is not helping men, and it's not helping women. It's not about men are better than women, women are better than men. It's not about that. It's never been about that. It is about oppressing all of us for the very few. And that's the truth. And so we can't keep on doing this to each other and expect to thrive. And we cannot be saturated in the negativity and then be trying to, but I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to, get further ahead in my career, while all of this stress is just attacking us. And, stress is what Charlotte Lamenda talked about in her near-death experience when she had a motor vehicle accident. She was stressed to the max and she wasn't thinking clearly. And nobody thinks clearly when they're super stressed and in fear. It's fear is really the biggest problem we have on this planet, because it's keeping us in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. And a lot of people pleasers are in that fawn mode. And they're doing it because they've been taught, if you please other people, you will get your needs met. And usually what happens is you don't. You keep trying, but you don't. And so it's really time for us all to wake up. And there's tons of tools available. And I'm not offering anybody medical advice on any of this. But what I am saying is, there's information available. There's so much available. We are at a time of evolution. You listen to astrologers, you listen to epigenetics people talking about how our environment is so critical to our thriving, but at the same time, how much power we have to change that environment, which is our body. That's where our soul is living, in our body. And we can thrive by changing our beliefs. We can thrive by embracing the joy. And when the joy comes, really hold on to it and celebrate. And don't be afraid to celebrate. So often I will celebrate, a piece of art that I've made because I'm so excited. It's not because I'm bragging. It's not because look at me, for heaven's sakes. I mean, look at me, look at my life. I'm doing something I love. And I want to share that love, that excitement, that joy with you. And that's why I do the podcast. That's why I wrote the book. That's why I'm doing the fashions, because it's fun. It's so much fun. And it's so in harmony with the peace I feel inside of me and the excitement and the joy looking forward. So that's what I want to share with you today. Please subscribe to the podcast or the YouTube channel, which has the podcast, has the art, has the fashions, and go to the website and get the book, because I think you will find, you'll likely find a little bit of your story. It is my hope that you will find something in there that will help make your life better. That's the whole reason I wrote the book. Otherwise, I could have just kept it to myself. It did take me 10 years to write it because I was healing as I was writing. So if you have any comments, please leave them in the comments below, and I will definitely respond to them. I really appreciate you watching me talking about these issues, having a chat. I appreciate all of my guests and all of the subscribers and people sharing the videos. I think we have the power, I really do, to make this a better world. But we have to let go of our habit of believing we're broken, we're inferior, we're not enough. We are so powerful. And enough for what? Think about it. We're made by the universe, divinity. How much more powerful could we be? So it's just a matter of really embracing that. Not from an ego point of view, but from really centered, grounded, spiritual, get that. This is just a bodysuit. Doesn't matter what color it is. Doesn't matter what gender. It matters that you're having this experience, that you're here to be part of the solution, to be the change. And these are not just slogans. We have to put them into action. We can't just say words. We have to breathe them. We have to use them. We have to express them. We have to use our bodies to physically change the world. This physical reality that we have here now. I'm excited, and I'm excited to be here with you. So until next time, take care. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for subscribing or following, liking, and sharing the podcast.
It helps me grow this channel and hopefully reaches more people with an empowering message. It's always nice to know there is wisdom out there and you can tap into it. Visit the website for more information on how to be a guest, see the guest list and future shows and topics. And while you're there, I invite you to browse my acrylic art pieces on canvas and wood. They make an amazing home decor, high vibe art. And you'll also find the link to my storefront for luxurious women's fashions and home decor, created and designed by me with my art and manufactured in Montreal, Canada by Le Galeriste. And it is really amazing to have found them. They are environmentally conscious. They use a special dye that doesn't fade, and it's humanely manufactured. It is an awesome time to be on the planet and have these choices. So I invite you to explore and see if there is something there for you. Until next time, take care.